My name is Rachel. Me and my boyfriend Alan were having a Valentine's dinner date. But it wasn't an ordinary Valentine's dinner date, because my boyfriend Alan was married. We had arguments over and over for the last 2 months since we met. Alan promised me he would do something about it, and I gave him an ultimatum. Either sort it out by Valentine's, or I can't keep going on being his mistress. We were enjoying our meal and drinking wine. It started out your usual romantic meal, but then things started getting a bit tense when I asked him, did he end things with his wife? Alan said to me, "Look, I know things have been all over the place, and I am not going to string you along any longer, trust me. But there was a time I loved my wife very much, but that love is gone long ago. You are the only person I love now, but saying that, because of me loving my wife so much before, I feel guilty just telling her outright it's over." I was angry. "So you're telling me after promising me you'd sort it out by Valentine's night, you still didn't sort it out?" Before he could say anything else, I said, "I'm getting more wine." When I opened the fridge, I nearly got sick when I saw Alan's dead wife inside the fridge, and half of her body was gone. There was a laptop open on the table with a how to cook humans guide showing. I found it hard to walk back into the kitchen with the fear running through my body. I went back and shouted at him, "What the hell is your wife doing in the fridge? Did you just feed me your dead wife? Is that your idea of sorting it out once and for all?" Alan looked shocked and said, "What are you talking about?" A few minutes later, after Alan came around from the shock of seeing his dead wife, he rang the chef he had cooked the dinner. When he rang, there was a ringtone coming from the basement. A few seconds later, the chef came into the dining room. Jake, the chef, holds a gun up to Alan and said, "Well, Alan, I'm glad you took the bait in the bar a few months back when I became very friendly with you and you spilled the beans on your affair." The affair with my wife, may I add. I also loved how you liked my idea of me cooking yourself and your mistress's meal, but little did you know that I'd cook your wife. Rachel looked in a daze, shocked at what she was hearing. Alan started crying. "What the hell did you kill my wife for, you sick bastard?" The chef smiled and pointed at me saying, "Because you were having an affair with my dishonest bitch of a wife, that's why." I had never told Alan I was married and had never realised my husband knew I was having an affair. "Please, Jake, stop this madness. That poor lady did nothing wrong to you. Why are you doing this?" He said, "Because he took you from me, so I took his wife. It just dawned on me now that I was just after eating the woman's body." Suddenly, Jake shot Alan dead, and then he shot and killed me. You might wonder why I'm able to tell you this story when my husband killed me. The answer is nothing what you think you know about this story is true. There was no body in the fridge. There was no mad, angry husband or mistress. There was just me and my hallucinations. My dissociative disorder. I should not be in prison. It is not me who killed my wife. It is those people inside me. Maybe I will be out next Halloween. Maybe I will be out next Christmas. Maybe I will be out next Easter. Maybe I will be out for Valentine's Day next year. And then maybe I will have a romantic meal like I should have had this year. I wouldn't hurt anyone. Why can't they understand that? My name is William. I was about to marry the girl of my dreams when I did something stupid. I started having an affair, and months before the wedding, my girlfriend Sharon found out and wanted me to marry her still. But the problem was, it wasn't that she forgave me. She was acting very erratic and possessive. She used to ask me to invite the lady I was having the affair with to the house, and to me tell her how much my girlfriend meant to me. And Sharon and I were getting married. It was a Friday night I heard the news that changed everything. Just weeks before my wedding, Sharon got killed in a car accident. I regretted the affair so much after having to identify Sharon at the morgue. I should have gave her all my world and married her, I know that. But a year later, besides all that, me and the girl I was having the affair with, who was called Lauren, were falling deeper and deeper in love, so much we got married that year. I felt so happy marrying her, but I felt something very wrong. It wasn't guilt, it was just a feeling Sharon was watching over me, livid with jealousy. I brushed the feelings to the side. The day of the wedding I was so busy and excited, all those weird feelings were gone. Until my friends took a photo of me and my newly married wife together. Afterwards, they all just stared weirdly at their phones. Everyone was talking to each other. I wondered why. My friend showed me her phone, and there, in the photo of me and Lauren, was my ex-girlfriend Sharon behind us, who I knew must have been her ghost. I gasped, and as I did, I heard everyone screaming. We all ran out of the church as the whole church went up in flames. Luckily, we all escaped without a scratch. But there isn't a day passes by something strange doesn't happen, like I hear knocking at my door, or I feel a hand on my shoulder, and I dread something very big is going to happen, like our house is going to go up in flames like the church. I do not know what is going to happen next because of the angry, out-of-control ghost of my dead ex-girlfriend, Sharon. It was a beautiful summer's day, and me and my friend decided to visit a local castle called Ballet Castle. We walked for miles to see it, and it was all worth it when we saw what such a beautiful castle it was. Me and my friend were walking around the countryside when we discovered a beautiful white horse painted up on the side of a cliff. We didn't climb up to see it up close, as it was pretty steep and we didn't have the energy to go climbing up anyway. We got a start when someone suddenly came out of the bushes. It was a man holding a bucket of white paint. I told him it was a beautiful idea. Oh yes, it looks beautiful maybe, but there's a sad story behind it. I asked him, what was it? And he began to tell us the story about the white horse. Years and years ago, there was a beautiful farmer's daughter who fell deeply in love with a local farmer's son. They used to love being in each other's company and wander through the hills holding each other's hand. The girl used to ride a white horse that used to shine bright against the sun on a lovely summer's day. The boy and girl knew that what they had together was true love, so she told her father they wanted to get married. Her father lost his temper instantly and shouted in a rage, No way was she going to marry that boy, and she would marry a man of his choice. There was a huge argument between herself and her father over it, so she ran out crying and jumped on her horse and went riding through the woods. The girl was screaming for her life as the white horse bolted over the edge of the cliff, with both daughter and horse falling to their deaths. The white horse was painted on the cliff to mark this fateful day. I told the man what a sad story. Suddenly, me and my friend heard a horse behind us galloping, and when we looked back to the man, he was gone.
Of all the money that e'er I spent it in good company, and of all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit to memory I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all.
It was Valentine's Day, and I was looking forward to go out on a date with my girlfriend for months, but unfortunately it was a lockdown, so we couldn't go out to any restaurant or anything. My girlfriend lived with me, so at least we could cook something at home and have a nice romantic meal. She sat down on the sofa watching TV while I cooked her the meal. About an hour later I called her out to the kitchen, and the table was set with candles and all to give it that romantic atmosphere. We started eating the meal, and my girlfriend told me how delicious it tasted. She asked what it was, and I told her it was mincemeat with vegetables. After the meal, we both sat back down watching a romantic movie. I was really enjoying the night. I gave my girlfriend a glass of wine, and within a few minutes I was feeling drowsy. I wondered why, as I had the sleeping tablets and painkillers crushed up into her glass. But she somehow must have noticed. I had planned on knocking her out and tying her up and revealing to her when she awoke I had that bastard Jack who she was cheating with on me. I had him tied up and gagged in the basement, thinking my plan would go according to plan. I did worry I'd be arrested for kidnapping though, as I was just going to try to scare them, but somehow my girlfriend knew my plan and switched the drinks to me get knocked out instead of her. I'm writing this letter by force. My girlfriend is pointing a gun at me, with her ex standing by smirking as I write. I don't know what they are going to do to me. My girlfriend is asking me to write what I think she is going to do to me. I write, I hope my girlfriend will let me go and tell me she's finished with me, but forgive me for tying Jack up and trying to knock her out with the tablets. She looked at the ending and smiled, then said, "This is just what I wanted. I wondered what she meant. She told me, because you cheating bastard, I know you have another girlfriend, and her name is Sarah, so now she's going to get the blame for murdering you, not me. She pressed the gun to my head and said, right, I hope Sarah leaves me go. I said, no, Sarah is innocent. She has nothing to do with this. She has everything to do with it. Now write Sarah's name. Write, I hope Sarah will let me go. I eventually wrote Sarah's name. My other girlfriend and Jack laughed, and both said, Happy Valentines, and texted Sarah pretending to be me. Come over, please. I have the house free. My girlfriend is gone out of town. As soon as he sent the text, he rang the police, pretending to be an anonymous neighbour, hoping Sarah would arrive at the same time they did. Sure enough, the police arrived just a couple of minutes after Sarah was in the house crying, and she was arrested for murder with the letter as evidence.
I met this girl and I loved her. She made me so happy and I enjoyed every second of being with her. Something happened to her and she would ignore me all the time and not respond to her texts. She stopped posting on all her social medias and had me blocked on everything. I kept texting her of what was wrong because I cared, and I was scared because I didn't know what she was going through. But she would never respond to me, which really hurt my feelings. So I eventually just had enough of her, so I text her that I am going to her house to retrieve my hoodie. I did this because I was so hurt by her and I loved her so much, and just not knowing what was going on with her really hurt me. And it made me crazy just always thinking about her and if she's okay. When I get to her house, I don't even see her. My hoodie is outside on the grass. So I go to pick it up and I tell her that I'm sorry. She responds to me and tells me to leave her and her family alone and for me just to leave. I left really sad and upset, and I felt like I could have just done things differently and better. I took the hoodie home and placed it on my nightstand. 3 months later, I never heard back from her. I stared at the hoodie and noticed a rip that was never there before. So I go to pick it up and I take a closer look at it and I notice a flashing small light. And to my surprise, it was a camera. She was spying on me this whole time. All my private information she had. Then I get a spam of emails saying that all my login information was changed and I was locked out of everything. Since I worked from home, there was a breach in my job security and I was instantly fired. I never understood why she did that to me. One day we were in love, and then the next day she just doesn't respond and now attacks me, as if I did something wrong to her. I guess I learned that you can't trust anybody, and that as much as you think you know someone, you really don't. Everyone has their secrets. You never know the person sleeping next to you, and you never will. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed my narrations and the Assassin Rappers animations, then please smash a like on this video. And yeah, guys, see you in the next one. I met this amazing girl online. She was so beautiful and had an amazing personality. We have been talking for now 7 months, and I don't regret a second of it. I honestly feel like she's the one that I will marry someday. I am 20 years old and she is 17. We always talked about meeting, but we both had busy lives. We FaceTime every night before bed and we'll leave the phone on while we go to sleep. I know some people might think it's weird, but I feel as if it's romantic. I finally saved enough money to come and see her. She lives an hour away. She sent me her address and I was going to leave to see her for the first time tomorrow. It was the night before I was going to go see her and we were on FaceTime together. I looked at her and she looked at me and we both smiled because we were so happy to be with each other. Sometimes I felt like I could just run away with her and leave everything behind. Work in school made it so hard to see her and it both stressed me out so much. We set up our FaceTime because we are going to bed and I say goodnight to her. Then I lay in my bed with my phone right next to me and I fall asleep. I wake up in pitch dark. It must be around 4 a.m. I said to myself. As I was getting ready to go back to sleep, I hear a bang coming from my phone. So I look over at my phone and I see a man in a mask in my girlfriend's room. As I am about to scream and call the police, he looks at me, smiles and pulls out a knife and puts his finger over his mouth and says, "Shh, or someone will get hurt." So I don't say anything. Then I wake back up and it's 2 p.m. What just happened? I ask myself. I go over to my phone and it's dead. I text my girlfriend, making sure she's okay, and no response. Maybe she's still sleeping or she's busy, I tell myself. So I wait for her reply. Nothing. I wait a couple more hours. Still nothing. I was starting to freak out because she usually responds within the hour, the latest. But now it's almost been the whole day and not even one single response. I start to get very nervous and remember my dream, but maybe it wasn't a dream. My eyes widen. I have to go make sure she's okay. So I put in her address on my phone and took a ride over to her house to make sure everything was okay. I finally get there and the house is deserted, as if someone hasn't lived there in over 100 years. There's no other houses around. I get a notification from my phone saying something about a haunted house. I have this app that tells me about the location I am at, and the notification popped up and I went into the app and looked up her house, and what came up surprised me until this day. It said there was a girl who lived here with her parents and she talked to this guy who loved her so much. They had plans to get married and run away together. But the night before they were going to do that, a man broke into the house and killed her and her parents with a knife. It says that ever since, the girl pretends she is real and gives people false hope and love so others can feel the pain she has. Then I scroll down to a picture of her, and it was the same exact picture of the girl I've been talking to this whole time.